Greetings and salutations to you all, ladies and gentlemen. Kluger welcoming you to a Grim Dawn build update, build in progress theorycraft thing, I suppose you would call it. I will call this build or dub it the Chthonic Necromancer, I suppose. It's an idea I'm working on. It's coming along pretty well so far. The whole build, it's something I've been sort of toying with in my mind for actually like a couple of months, totally like nerding out on it hard. I'm opening my devotion panel because the idea of it came from the Raise the Dead skill, which arrives from the Revenant devotion constellation thing. I was like, this skill, Raise the Dead, sounds really fun. I was disappointed to find, at least as of the current build I'm playing this in, 1.0.0.3, that it only binds really to player attacks, so to speak. And a very specific set of them, in this case, as you can see. I can't bind them to pets. Initially, when I saw this skill, I was like, yeah, I'll bind it to, like, Hellhound, and when he kills stuff, he'll summon dead for me, and it'll be really rad and awesome. That never came to fruition, or at least hasn't come to fruition yet. I know they're going to be opening up devotion selections, skill selections pretty soon, so hopefully that'll change, but nevertheless, for now, whoops. Yeah, the idea of this build was kind of a mix between a pet master build thing as well as doing DPS ourselves, because I resigned myself to the fact that I'll need to do damage to some of these skeletons, so I was like, well, I'll do damage plus my pets will do damage. So it's a hybrid pet melee build thing. As you can see, I've got this bound to Fire Strike as of right now to summon the dead, which is working out pretty okay. And then as you can plainly see, currently I've got the Raven. I don't know if he's going to stick around, and Hellhound, of course. Now I've gone with the Pyromancer. I think it's Pyromancer. Yeah, Pyromancer. And we'll have a look at the skills I've selected so far and where I'm intending to go with them. So, Demolitionist. Now, I chose Demolitionist as a second mastery, of course. I went with the Cultist first as I wanted the pets and other things. Demolitionist just seemed like a good alternative way to offer extra damage. Now, fire damage works out really nicely with this build. Because we've got Hellhound and he offers us extra fire damage from this thing, Hellfire. As well, I'm using the just a Wormclaw right now, which gives us a lot more fire damage and pet bonuses and all that sort of stuff. So it's a combination of chaos and fire damage for us, plus our pets doing similar stuff. And it's going, you know, for sort of mid to late veteran, it's going pretty well so far. I haven't really had any major troubles. So we'll be talking about Demolitionist first. I'm getting some points into Flame Touched and Temper, just one in each for now. May put more points in there depending on how we go, because this will probably be a very point spread build. Fire Strike, again, just putting some points in there as well. I'd want to get up to Brimstone. That offers us a lot of fire damage and chaos damage through those fragments, which will be really good, and kind of amalgamate all the damage we're doing together. At the moment, we're probably doing more chaos damage, of course, through Soleil's Witchfire. But I want to balance them out and do, you know, roughly equal amounts of fire and chaos damage if I can, because that really enables the Wormclaw to do its thing. Otherwise, I could always go for some alternative options here. For example, you know, the Black Grimoire Vognapesh. I think the Rovers might have a nice offhand book, which also gives pet bonuses. I'm not really sure where I'm going to go with that for now. Flashbang, of course, and Searing Light, just to debuff enemies and help out our pets. And Vindictive Flame, which I'll probably get close to maximum to help us stay alive. Just 1 point in Ulzwin's Wrath. And that's really all I'll get from here. Like I said, we'll get Brimstone when I make it that far. But that'll be a nice extra chunk of damage. Occultist, we're doing a bit more bits and pieces. Solar's Witchfire, I plan on maxing out. I may also max Second Right as well, because we are trying to do pretty hefty damage ourselves, as well as, you know, our pets doing good amounts of damage, pardon me. Blood of Dreeg, pretty standard for occultist builds these days, and 1 point in Aspect of the Guardian. Summoned Familiar, 1, 1, and 1, as you can see, just for a little bit of heals and a little bit of stuns here and there. Useful for now, but I don't know if I'll stick with it. 1 point in Bonds of Bismiel. I'm tempted to go up to Manipulation as well. It's just, I'm trying to strike that balance between pet damage and character damage, player damage. So we'll see where we end up with that. I could also get Possession if I really wanted to, but we'll see how that all rolls through. Maxed Hellhound with +2 from Wormclaw, excuse me, and 9 out of 12 on Hellfire, which I do want to max. I've been sort of trepidatious about this skill in the past, but it's a decent chunk of buffing, of fire and chaos damage, and burn damage as well. And it affects us as well as the pets, so it's a nice all-around buff for everybody. And it's got flat chaos damage on it as well, which helps out our skeletons. So that's about it. I mean, the long-term ambition really is probably just to potentially max this out. I'll max this skill out. Probably max out Bite of Dreig. And like I said, go up to Brimstone. Probably put a couple points in it. I'll probably pick up Blast Shield as well. That will be nice. It doesn't actually need a shield, which is good. A really good survivability skill, which will be very nice. And that'll be really it. Gears-wise, I mentioned the Worm Claw. I'm using the Devil's Crusher for now, flat and percentage chaos damage. And I'm messing around with actually an enchanted flint on it, which seems kind of backwards, I know, but I'm trying to boost up our flat fire damage, which is going okay. If we look at the damage we're dealing at the moment, where's fire? I always miss it. So we're doing 116 to 175, but at 330% modifier, which is pretty nice. Our modifier for chaos is actually lower at 252%, though we're doing more of it. So I'm just trying to strike that balance, like I mentioned. As I put more points in second right, of course, we'll get more chaos damage rolling as well. And everything else is pretty, like, there's nothing to write home about right now. This isn't the end game gear. While, I mean, I'm using some of the Rawari pieces to boost up the pets. Rawari handguards, actually more just for us, but the shoulder guards gives us a whole bunch of pet buffs. Wormclaw gives us pet buffs, of course. Solar Defender, which is from Homestead, you know, just stuff to help us stay alive, essentially. Oh, I've got the Hellhound, sorry, the Rifthound leather boots. That's what's giving us +2 to summon Hellhound. So I'm trying to strike a balance between giving the pets goodness and giving us some extra damage. And so far it's working out really well. Now, what actually inspired me to really go with this build was the Raise the Dead skill, but also some extra items I rolled across, and I really want to get these up and running as soon as possible. Ideally, I would have already had the build using them, but I haven't had the time to grind it up that far. But check out this baby, Black Scourge. Does flat chaos damage, 123% chaos damage, and gives us a bunch of other goodness, as well as extra points in Bonds of Bismuel and Manipulation. And you can see there as well, bonus to all pets, 45% to all damage, 6% offensive ability, 4% attack speed, and 24% chaos resistance. That's really good in of itself, but then it's also got this skill, Conjure Black Scourge, 30% chance on enemy death to summon a Black Scourge, which does this Entropic End skill, which reduces enemy health and does chaos damage. So that seems really, really fun. And then Will of Bismuel is another one I've got, which has a whole bunch of buffs on it, as you can see, a lot to chaos damage. Actually, these two things together make me really want to get Manipulation. Also pet bonuses, and then it's got Invocation to Chaos. This is why I call it the Chthonic Necromancer, because as well as summoning skeletons, this skill lets us summon 3 Void Fiends, which have decent health, do decent damage, and will be extra meat shields for us and extra pets for us to buff. So all of these things combined, plus Raise the Dead, plus our permanent pets, maybe plus another permanent pet if I get the right relic into me, will mean a lot of crazy pets that get summoned all the time as we kill stuff. So it's pretty wild, man. That's really, those last 2 items that I found is what really inspired me to get this build rolling as soon as possible. Now we'll hop into game, and we're actually killing stuff already in game, because look, it's just stupid. Alright, just calm down, everyone. So the build's kind of working out really cool, because I send the pets in there and they do the majority of the tanking and that sort of thing and do the damage for me. And then I use Fire Strike just to pick off the weak plebs. I use Chaos Strike to do nasty things, but as weakened enemies come towards me, I just sort of give them a smack with the old mace, and I get skeletons summoned for me. Oh, we got a boss in there. So as you can see, I've got 2 skeletons rolling right now. They live for a decent amount of time, and the good thing is their lifespan scales as the constellation levels. I'll take another look at it. So at the moment I've got it at level 3, which means I can summon 3 and they live for 12 seconds. At level 4 they will live for 13 seconds, and of course they continue to scale in other areas, but they will get longer and longer lifespans the more I level that up, which would be really, really cool. So yeah, this build lends itself to this interesting playstyle where pets go in, and of course Hellhound at his level is doing some pretty nasty stuff, which allows him to keep everybody busy, and I just pick off the weaklings, and then that allows me to summon skeletons. So my involvement is not so direct. I'm more of the debuff slash offhand DPS while the pets keep everything busy. And then I get more pets. It's, you know, it's this lovely circle of necromancy. I'm also occasionally throwing in Chaos Strike, which is our nice mobility skill. Keeps us moving around the edges of the pack as well as killing extra stuff. For anyone who is wondering, that comes from the... where am I going? From the Riftstone component, which gives us flat and percentage chaos damage. So there you go. That's really all there is to the build right now, guys. It's going in a really positive direction. Or at least so I feel. So here we go. Another good example. Pick up some of these scrub flesh warp trolls. I'll throw a heal in there with Blood of Dreeg. And just keep flashbanging whenever I remember to do so. So this little corruption noob, he's perfect to just pick off. Get another skeleton. And that's it. The whole pack is clear without really any major difficulty. So the build's really fun like that, you know, because it offers a different playstyle, at least in my opinion, where I'm not really in people's faces all that much. I'm working on the edge of mobs to get extra skeletons summoned and let the pets do most of the work. And it's just going to get better and better as those skeletons level up, and when I reach level 50 and we get those black scourges rocking up, the more I kill, the more awesome stuff we get. It's just cool. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. What I don't know is how viable this is going to work out to be in the long run. So far in just plain old veteran, it's pretty easy mode. I haven't really had any difficulties at all throughout the game. I've died once, I think, maybe twice, just due to sheer stupidity on my behalf, not paying attention because I was too busy watching a clip on YouTube as opposed to concentrating on the game. But it's actually a pretty hardy build as long as you're careful about what you're doing. Because what you don't want to do is go in there and face tank, because I'm not using a shield. You want to let the pets be your face tank, and you just pick off with your DPS. And I mean, we're at 2.2k DPS so far, which is pretty not bad considering we've also got pretty beefy pets working for us. So here they are. Look at these little suckers. They're so cool, man. Oh, classics. I should try to get a screenshot of them after the next things we kill. Give them. Give me the skeletons. Come on, fool. You can't even see him. Haha, there we go. Cool. Oh, gosh. So that's about it, ladies and gents. I don't really have much else to mention right now. I'm hoping to do another video pretty soon of this character fleshed out with more skills so that you guys can see it in action with all the items that I mentioned to you before. It should work out really, really well, I think. Let's kill this chump. Hey, we got 2 skeletons now. Get another screenshot. Yeah. There we go. Cool. Sorry, I can't help myself. They were more spread out that time. They looked better. Alright, so guys, I think I'll love you and leave you here. Hope you enjoyed this little video. Of course, at this formative stage of the build, your feedback is very, very welcome. So if you guys have any ideas, maybe for items I'm not aware of that'll be more suited to the build, or ideas for other skills maybe I should look into using, do feel free to let me know. And I'll, of course, consider your ideas. Other than that, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I hope to see you again next time. My name's Kluger, and you have a great day.